Hi, I'm Steven, one of the owners of Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill is a restaurant and bar that we just opened up, kind of a sister bar to church, one of my first projects. And we kind of got started with this project with the idea in mind of it being very community oriented and kind of a celebration of all the talented and incredible people we have here in Portland. Well, currently an obsession of mine is figuring out a way to build certain values into the aesthetic of an establishment. For instance, like, if you're wanting to send a certain message, how do you do that in a way that's fun and appropriate for the setting and that resonates with people? So it's kind of an ongoing challenge and something I like to think about with everything that we do within the industry. So if we're looking at the build out or the menu or cocktail program, anything like that, I like to look at little ways that we can build those values into the aesthetic. So it's there and recognizable without having to be super overt or oppressive or anything like that. So that's something I try and work on quite a bit.
Hi, I'm Rachel Stolfe. I'm the bar manager here at Chapel Hill. So my role is to, make sure everything's running smoothly, make sure our liquor's stocked, and I get to do a little bit of creative stuff. So I'm in charge of developing cocktails for the menu. We have different events that we do, like we're doing Negroni Week next week. So coming up with different recipes for a classic Negroni and then also a Negroni variation. Specifically, my goals are to kind of push the boundaries a little bit, not stick with the normal, the routine drinks, just trying to kind of always elevate it, having an idea but then figuring out an ingredient that we've never used before, or something that's not very common that you'd find in a cocktail at a bar, and then incorporating that into our mix. My personal favorite drink, I'd have to say, I'm a sucker for an old fashioned. That's really just my classic, my favorite thing. But my favorite cocktail would have to be the Last Word. It's something that I've played upon my own cocktails with. It's chartreuse, gin, lime, Cointreau, and that's a different one, but gin too as well. Chartreuse is such an interesting ingredient to me, so something that I really like to use for my drinks, even if it's just a little bit of it, because it is so complex and it's such a flavor profile that most people have never encountered before. So when I was first introduced to it, I fell in love. So I've every cocktail menu that I make, I try and sneak a little bit of that green and yellow chartreuse in there.
My name is Jake Gross. I'm one of the chefs here at Chapel Hill. I don't know, I just really always loved playing with food. It's kind of just been my favorite thing to play with, rather than like Legos and stuff like that. Food-wise, what do I miss the most? That's a hard question. I don't even know. My parents cooked everything and anything for me. They had chicken parm. I mean, the anise beef that we use for our pho tacos is like something my dad used to make for me when I was a kid. So I thought it'd be great to put it in a taco. Every pho broth the same. We char all of our vegetables. We, do a hard roast on all of our bones. We use femur bones. We got a lot of fat in them, and then we kind of steep it overnight. Let all that collagen come out of the bones and create a really, really rich broth. And this is Ui right here. This is the other head chef.
My name is U'ilaniku'ulei Vele, and I am the acting chef of Chapel Hill. So it's actually a collaboration with Jake, who you just saw. We've been working on this menu since last, I want to say, September. And it's pretty much a combination of our favorite flavors, either to eat or something that we grew up with, or just something that we've always wanted to do, essentially. So for example, like the Pad Thai Crunch Wrap, that was actually the first dish that he approached me with and was like, hey, do you think we could execute this? At first I was like, no way, dude, like that sounds way too weird, you know? And then we, after, you know, trial and error and testing out the recipe, it made the menu, and it's actually one of our best sellers. So I'm Hawaiian and Samoan. I was born and raised in Hawaii, so I was born and raised around a lot of these flavors. A lot of Asian influence, so like Japanese, Korean influence, Vietnamese influence, etc. And my adulthood was spent in the Central Valley of California. So like some of the best Mexican food I've ever had is from, you know, Sacramento, Modesto, Ceres area. A little grimy, but you know, it's very authentic. So, and like I said, it's a collection of our favorite flavors. So it just so happened that Mexican and Asian kind of work well together. With people not getting upset about it, I think it comes with an appreciation and not an appropriation. I have a very profound respect of any culture or any food because that's kind of your universal language, right? If you want to learn about a culture, what's the first thing you look towards? It's their food. It's the foundation of, you know, where they found their flavors, like where they discovered, you know, spices, or where certain things grow in their region. You know, you automatically look to food to be like, okay, hey, this is who I am as a collective, you know, or it's who I am as a, what would that be? At your most primal and your most basic, like, instinct, it's to nourish yourself, right? So it should be also to nourish other people. I mean, in this day and age, I think it's really important because there's so many options and paths that you could follow to succeed. You know, you chose media, I chose food. For someone that's getting, for example, one of my cooks, she just graduated art school. After 5 years of going to art school, she finally graduated, and she cooks here, and she loves cooking more than she loves cooking more than doing what her art school is telling her to do. You know, she needs to go pursue like her own art shows and galleries and et cetera, and she's like, I kind of want to do this because this is making me happy. I'm finding fulfillment in it. So I think it is really important to find something that you're good at, find something that you love, and pursue it and do it. And if that's, you know, being a lawyer, or if it's being a cook, or if it's being, you know, a coffee or barista or whatever, I mean, to limit yourself in this day and age is kind of a poor choice. Yeah, well, I mean, it's ingrained in every single cook, I think, to really push and challenge, and that's not always in, you know, healthy ways, because pushing 16-hour days on your feet for the sake of, you know, food service, you know, it gets kind of crazy. But that's just kind of what you have to do, you know, pushing, getting there, you know, an hour early, leaving there after everyone else, you know, it's more like a matter of like challenging yourself to outperform everyone else, you know? It's like a inner battle, like, oh, you pushed 12 hours today, well, I'm gonna go 14 hours. You know, it's like, I was so hungry for knowledge that I would just stay, you know? Here, Jake and I busted out a 19-hour day one night, just prepping and putting together shelves and cleaning the kitchen and making sure that everything was going to be ready to go. You know, it's just kind of something that I don't know, just kind of makes sense to a cook. You know, we go the extra mile because it's, at the end of the day, it's, you know, service industry. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think when I was younger, I very much wore my heart on my sleeve, and if I was having a, you know, bad day and I came into work, it would show. You know, I'd be grumpy, I would be like, don't talk to me, you know, head down, whatever. But I've realized now, being in a position of, you know, management and having a team under me, I have to really take a moment before I walk into those doors and be like, okay, life is done, I'm at work, even though work is my life. I can't let anything outside of these walls affect how I treat anyone in the kitchen, you know. So if anything, I need to be more grounded so I can take care of anything that those cooks are going through, the same way that my old chefs did for me. So sometimes, yeah, it is difficult if I'm having an awful day, but just taking that, you know, that 5 minutes to be like, okay, this is inside of these walls, nothing else matters.
So back to the question of what you are obsessed with.
Rachel made this spicy margarita that goes into our.
It's right here.
And honestly, it's so good.
Yeah, you can smell the jalapenos on it.
We consistently sell out of it because people are like, this is incredible. So I'm lightweight obsessed with that.
Perfect.